Ed, the Olympics are coming up, and of course there's no NHLers at the Olympics this year, but there are plenty of reasons for people, locally at least, to pay attention to the Olympic hockey tournament, not the least of which is the coach.
Well, that's right. I mean, you know, when you look at that roster, it looks like a Canucks alumni team, and then the coach is the dearly departed Willie Desjardins. And it's amazing to me that this guy is just like, you could scour the hockey universe and not find a better candidate to coach the Canadian Olympic team. He was part of it. He kind of cut his teeth with the Dave King teams in the 80s, always been around Hockey Canada, fiercely loyal Canadian. This means the world to him, and it means the world to a bunch of players. Average age on that group is 31, and most of them have hung around just for this one shot, and they kind of represent, like, they're from all over the hockey universe. But I think it's going to be a great story, and I think it'll be a great story Canadians really get behind when the Olympic hockey tournament starts.
Is it a nice personal redemption story for Willie? Because he became a bit of a punching bag when he left the Canucks.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, you have to think back, like when he was hired by the Canucks, he turned down the head coaching job with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Think about that for a moment. He looks at that Penguins line, let's see, I can coach Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang and Phil Kessel, or I can coach the Canucks. Yeah, the Canucks, that's the team for me. So, I mean, he was very, he was you know, a sought-after commodity in the coaching ranks at that point in his career. Now, what happened next, everybody knows. But I think this is a real chance for him maybe to reclaim it, and he's going to end up back in pro hockey at the conclusion of this. There's no doubt in my mind.
Willie's a great fit then with so many other stories on the team. That we look at, you know, angles all over the place of guys who are trying to not just grab some glory but resurrect their careers. You have been involved in covering many Olympics, and there's a tendency to say the NHLers aren't there. I'm not going to pay attention to it. But are you excited about watching the hockey team?
I am, because as much as I loathe the IOC, I love the stories the Olympic produces. Just because you don't get those kind of stories a whole lot anymore in the big business world of sports. And I think especially for this Canadian hockey team, there's so many stories about redemption. There's so many stories about comebacks. There's so many stories about these guys just trying to, you know, go for the brass ring one last time at the tail end of their careers. And those are endlessly compelling, attractive stories for a writer, and I think for the public.
Thanks, Ed. You can check out Ed's story online, but we'll all be watching during the Olympic tournament to see how the hockey team does.